Hello everyone, I am in the middle of going to a doctor appointment. The last video when I talked about Social Security, I had mentioned that I got my Social Security Survivor Benefit Award. Now I want to speak a little bit about people that are divorced. If you've been divorced, you have some unique circumstances, opportunities, however you want to see it. What I would suggest you do is go to the Social Security Administration website and create yourself an account. You do not have to pay for this service. Make sure that you go to Social Security Administration. So you're going to need some information if you're divorced. I'm going to make it with someone that has divorced and never remarried. This is pretty cut and dry. If you were married to someone for 10 years, that means from I do to I don't. You could be eligible for, if they're alive, to use their Social Security benefit, or if they're deceased, to use it based on a survivor benefit. So what you need to do, set up that Social Security account and get an appointment, a phone appointment, in person, whatever you want to do. Get an appointment so you can talk about everything. Say that your ex-spouse is alive also. You may, I'm not saying for sure, may have the opportunity to choose between your Social Security benefit and your former spouse's Social Security benefit. And before anyone says, oh, you're taking away from your ex-husband, what if they're remarried, you're taking away from you're not taking away anything. You're going to strategically choose. I would think that it would be best for you to take the benefit that has the highest amount. You think of someone, maybe a wife that never really worked a full-time job, maybe has only worked part-time and stayed at home with the kids and whatnot. I mean, this could happen with a husband too. And then you simply decide, if your ex-spouse made more money, you may want to go ahead and take their benefit. Use their benefit. You're not taking it, you're entitled to it. Now let's just say that you were married to somebody and they pass away. That throws a bit of a wrench in there. You need to see if you're eligible for any survivor benefits, and if so, how much. Maybe if they made more and you're full retirement age and you're not planning on working, you might want to go ahead and take theirs. But let's just say you're in a situation like mine where you're in your early 60s, you're not even Social Security age yet, but you're at least 60 years old, you haven't been remarried before you're 60, and let's just say that your Social Security benefit is more. You can take your former spouse's benefit when you're 60, and then, no, I'm not going to go that way. And what you could do, once you take your ex-spouse's benefit first, and when you become Social Security age, you can take your benefit. I hope that this... So yeah, that's something that you might be able to do. I'm not going to say for sure, which is why I'm saying you need to get in touch with the Social Security office. I was looking at some information about Social Security for divorced individuals. And in fact, the big key thing is your ex-spouse has to be Social Security age. It doesn't even look like they have to be full Social Security age. You really need to check for yourself. The main things I'm seeing is married for at least 10 years consecutively. If you're a survivor, you have to be at least 60 years old, and you should not have remarried before your 60th birthday. So I mean, I would definitely check that out. What this should do is strike your interest. You have access to your ex-spouse's social security number. Yikes. I suppose that you could go to the Social Security office and hopefully you have a marriage certificate, because you're going to need that too. If they're deceased, you're going to need a death certificate. Your birth certificate also is something that you might need. You can check to see if your passport is okay to bring to identify yourself also. Just check. And the thing, if you get a benefit on your former spouse's name, whether you're a survivor or they're alive, anytime that you call in about the benefit, you're going to be using their social security number, not yours. Not yours. I remember one time, and I think that there was this lady going through this. She called me and she asked if this was such and such person, and I recognized it to be like I had heard of that name. And I remember when I looked on, I think I was looking for like real estate prices, and this person's name happened to be associated with my address. And I told the lady, I don't know where they're at. And I don't mean to be offensive, but this is most likely an older white lady, because the neighborhood I lived in used to be predominantly white. But over time, some of the older people, they're still living there. And as they're getting older, either their families are selling it, or some of the grandchildren are moving back in because real estate is so high. But this lady called me and she was just desperately trying to find out information about her ex-husband, who I think had passed away. And I said, ma'am, I really don't know anything about your ex-husband. Her response, why is your name associated with the address? If you're associated, when I Google him, why does your name come up? And I said, ma'am, honestly, typically I don't even answer the phone, but I don't know if it was divine intervention for you. I don't know if it was for my sake, because I don't see any benefit from this. But perhaps you're a good person and God intervened and had me answer that phone, because I wasn't even going to answer the phone. So I said, trust me, I don't know. And I don't know who you are, so I'm certainly not going to release any personal information. I think I recognized the name because it was on some mail a while back when I lived there, and I marked it as undeliverable and dropped it off at the post office when I was doing some Christmas cards or something, just for it to go back to whoever. Yeah, I didn't know what to say to the person, and I think that what they were trying to do is to get some social security benefits, or find out if I knew anything about this person. I don't know if they were dead, alive. My recollection is that the person was passed away. And one thing about former spouses, I don't want to say what I'm thinking. She was looking, it seemed like she was looking to get what she needed to get some survivor benefits. She had that urgency in her voice. One thing I know, I had a uncle that passed away, and it was very interesting. He left my uncle. No, my aunt is by blood. My uncle wasn't by blood, but was like one of my one of my favorite uncles. There was two, but he was one of the favorite ones. And when he passed away, he gave his affairs to his ex-wife, and he knew who buttered his bread, and that's who he left his stuff to. I was young and I didn't know, but I didn't get a sense there was a substantial amount left to the kids or anything. I mean, it's none of my business because I was young at that time, but I got a sense that a lot of his stuff he left his ex-wife. So that would have been that person was in a good position to get survivor and stuff. I mean, I love my uncle. I love my uncles plural, but they're men, and you know, sometimes you might not like being a wife. You may enjoy being that person's widow instead of their wife. Or you may enjoy being that person's widower more than their husband. And these are hard things to say, but they're true. If you're in that situation, check with the Social Security Administration office. Breathe, take some time. Don't allow any kind of emotions to get involved in it. When you get benefits like that, people will begin to have, they may begin to have their hands out. So what I would say is be prepared. Be prepared. There's times when you have to kind of choose yourself and whatnot. It was just like when I left this job, the way I left the job, I did it in a way that benefited me. And the way I left benefited me. The time when I left benefited me. The checks I got benefited me. How long I kept my health insurance benefited me. When I got the next paycheck benefited me. When I applied for the retirement benefited me. It coincided with my last checks. Me keeping time on the book benefited me. So think it in ways to benefit yourself to make sure you secure a good retirement. And the other thing is, if you're applying as a survivor, I can only speak from being a wife. You may get a small burial benefit. It might be a couple $100. It might be like $255, but you may get that. Yeah. Take it and put it towards your future or whatever. Do something with it. Do whatever is right for you. I mean, I would lean towards practical stuff, but if you had like a difficult marriage, I mean, what's right for you may be a spa day. What may be right for you is going for a weekend spa day if that person wasn't so nice to you. Well, I don't know. I've never been divorced before, so I don't know about all those emotions and stuff like that. But I do know about making sure you check with that Social Security office to get what you need that's best for you. Leave comments. Leave your comments. Leave your questions. Be kind. I'm coming on here plain face, no makeup, nothing fancy. I'm on a skincare journey, so if you see anything around here, like, I haven't been able to necessarily do any kind of like removals or laser or anything because my skin literally just cleared up from all this stress that I had on this job that I semi-retired from. And if you go to Substack, you can see some of those things.